Mexico isn't just a beautiful place to vacation, filled with gorgeous beaches and zesty events, but it also has some unrest, and not just among the living, but the dead are restless too, which has added some bizarre freakiness around its cities. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary haunted places in Mexico. Also, apologies in advance if I butcher any of these names, my bad. I'm not Mexican or Spanish. Let's just jump in. Coming in at 5, Casa de los Tubos. Also known as the House of Tubes, this is perhaps one of the most popular haunted places in Mexico because of its exemplary spiral make and cylindrical hallways. Specifically, one house in Monterrey, Mexico has caused a lot of buzz amongst locals as well as urban legend fanatics. According to some sources, there is a very famous legend about an abandoned building called the House of Tubes, a strange structure built in the 1970s but was never inhabited. From the outside of the house, it looks almost like a set of grey concrete tubes standing on end, and on the inside the hallways are cylindrical in shape. One side of the house also has a series of ramps that lead to upper floors, and on the side the levels are connected by large stairs. Now, the legend goes that the house was built by a wealthy couple who had a paralyzed daughter. The father, of course, wanted to create a special home that was custom made just for her, hence the ramps leading from floor to floor, allowing her to move freely in her wheelchair. However, when construction began, her father took her to see the new home, during which time 2 of the architects who designed the property died after concrete fell on them. However, the construction continued. After construction, the father returned with his daughter, who decided to test out the new ramps going up and down from floor to floor. However, her parents looked away for just a few moments when their daughter's wheelchair suddenly started to slide backwards down the ramp. She was unable to stop herself, and the girl went flying out of the open window, falling to her death. The home was left abandoned, but visitors report seeing a little girl stood near the window she fell from, as well as the sounds of weeping from the lost soul. Coming in at 4, House of Mummies, Guanajuato. In the city of Guanajuato lies Mexico's most eccentric museum that has quickly sparked ghostly rumors. The museum houses naturally mummified bodies interred during a cholera outbreak around Guanajuato, Mexico in 1833. The bodies were supposedly disinterred between 1870 and 1958, during which time a local tax was in place requiring a fee to be paid for perpetual burial. Bodies for which the tax was not paid were disinterred, and some, those in the best condition, were stored in a nearby building. Now, the cause of the mummification is a unique combination of mineral-rich soils and an extremely dry climate, and according to locals, the preserved bodies have been known to move, whisper, and even weep. As of 2007, the museum continued to exhibit 59 of the total 111 mummies in the collection. The mummies are a notable part of Mexican pop culture, echoing the national holiday, the Day of the Dead, as well as the B-movie titled Santo vs. the Mummies of Guanajuato, which pitted well-known professional wrestler Santo and several others against reanimated mummies. Coming in at 3, the Toscana Station, Mexico City. Perhaps one of the most haunted spots in the wide networks of public transportation in Mexico, this station holds the reputation of being the scariest station on the metro route. Many locals believe the station to be haunted, with an elderly man reportedly haunting solo commuters who are waiting on the platform. However, don't fret, he is said to be friendly. Rumor has it the man died during an assault at the station and is now lingering around the station, protecting passengers from a similar fate. Whether you find this scary is up to you, but personally I wouldn't travel solo through the Toscana Station. I've known time for evil or friendly ghosts, just saying. Coming in at 2, Posada del Sol, Mexico City. In the center of Mexico City lies the ruins of the Hotel Posada del Sol, an abandoned hotel that is perhaps one of the most haunted sites in all of Mexico. Now, this once upon a time magnificent structure was the project of Fernando Saldana Galvan. However, during the same time, Fernando ended his life in the hotel's courtyard after being buried in debt. Now, the Posada del Sol lies abandoned and coated in lifeless graffiti and tales of the supernatural. However, what adds to the eeriness of the hotel is the tale about the spirit of a dead young girl, who is believed to be wandering the underground chambers of the hotel. According to reports, the girl was found dead inside the hotel, which surprised authorities considering no common man can enter or even tour the hotel. However, those who have found a way often offer sweets and candy at the altar located in the macabre basement out of respect and love for the young girl. To add add more mystery to the hotel, it is rumored it was actually built to perform human sacrifice as part of a satanic ritual. However, this story has never been confirmed. As of today, the hotel rests as a decrepit shell of a shattered dream, crumbling behind a tall fence and heavy security. Would you ever attempt to enter the haunted Posada del Sol? I wouldn't. And finally, coming in at number 1, the Island of Dolls, Mexico City. Located in the channels of Xochimilco, south of Mexico City, is where you can find this terrifying and haunted island, aptly named the Island of the Dolls, which houses broken and deteriorated dolls of various styles and colors that were originally placed there by former owner of the island, Julian Santana Barrera. Dolls hang from the branches of trees with many missing heads or limbs. The former owner, Julian, lived in the area for more than 50 years and began his collection to fend off evil spirits after he found the body of a drowned young girl in the lake, which in turn resulted in him hearing whispers in the night which he believed were coming from the girl. So, to appease the spirit, he began to hang the dolls, placing them all around the island. Sadly, however, in 2001, Julian met the same fate as the young girl, even drowning in the same place. Following his death, the island quickly became a major tourist attraction, with some visitors even claiming to see the dolls move or even talk. However, for those seeking a thrill, the Island of Dolls is a little tricky to access, with the only way of getting to it being via Trajanera. However, most rows will happily transport people across the island, with the journey taking approximately 1 hour. However, those who refuse usually do so because of superstitions. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any haunted places in Mexico that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.